In this video, we're going to look into TangoFlux, a small 505 million parameter model that is excelling at text to audio generation. Now let's hear on some examples. Says a text description: a basketball bounces rhythmically on a court, shoes squeak against the floor, and a referee's whistle cuts through the air. It's a very descriptive text to generate audio. Now let's look into some examples from here. So for example, the previous stable audio open. So as we can see, it generated a nice squeaky shoes, but not really that much basketball bounces in the air or in the audio. But let's look into some TangoFlux generations. Now, people who have played basketball before probably can understand this is a way more natural sounding generation compared to stable audio open. Although stable audio open does make generate some good sound, but it's still not that great. But again, this just sounds more natural, more coherent from an audio perspective. Now let's look at another example of dripping water echoes sharply, a distant growl reverberates through the cavern, and a soft scraping metal suggests something lurking unseen. It's a pretty horror type of audio generation. So let's look into some stable audio examples. So a very spooky example over here. And let's look into the TangoFlux. So again, a bit more scarier sounding, a bit more natural sounding. Again, still very spooky, but again, I did not hear any metal scraping examples. It's a very interesting example over here too. And what's amazing about this model is it's only 515 parameter model, which is way less than the other models out there. Although I do want to say that it only generates up to 30 seconds, whereas stable audio generates up to 44 seconds. And with a 44.1 kilohertz audio. So I'm not sure if this is a good bitrate for the model. Typically, you want to have higher bitrates like 128 or more to get a much better generation. But still, considering how well it adheres to the text prompt, this has some serious potential. Now, of course, they have given us this Google Colab notebooks where you can use to generate your own examples. So I will also link this in the description for you guys to play around with. And maybe you guys can increase the rate as well to see how it works. Alright guys, I hope you found this video insightful. If you guys did, please feel free to subscribe. I make similar videos like these. Alright guys, I hope to see you in my next video. Have a nice day. Now this is a clear competitor to the stable audio models. Now, as we know, stable audio open is an open source model, one of the more popular models out there. TangoFlux is essentially a audio model that is beating out the previous open source models for audio generation. So let's look at some examples.